Okay guys, I don't know how to start this video, so I'm just going to say that the reason I got kicked from Blur SMP is because I was X-raying and fly hacking. That's the short version, that's just what I did, but the more complete story is, I'll just lay it out in a timeline, that I got accepted into Blur SMP. I'd say a week or so later I started fly hacking. Then after a week maybe of that, I got caught, and then they told me not to do it again, and I got a second chance, and I stopped fly hacking. But then, maybe 2 weeks later, I started X-raying, and then I did that a couple times until I got caught, and then I was banned. That's, well, saying this won't help my case, but I need to mention that both times I was caught, the Skype call was sort of like laid out that they would tell me that they knew I was hacking, and then at the end they would like show me the incriminating evidence. And I am utterly ashamed to say that I lied and made excuses right up until they showed me the evidence. People will hate me for that, but I really do hate myself more. Thinking about it makes me feel demotivated and stupid and just crappy. I don't hate myself for getting kicked from Blur SMP. It was fun, but it wasn't fun enough for me to be kicking myself this hard. I wasn't the only one affected. Again, bringing this up won't help my case, but any justification I can tell myself doesn't really matter since I hurt other people while I was at it. Thinking and talking about it would be so much easier if I was the only one affected. I probably wouldn't even care that much. I mean, I would be sad a little bit, but I wouldn't really care. Every time I think about it and feel like crap, I think this is how everyone I lied to must be feeling, and I feel like more crap. Alright, so this is the point where I start defending myself. If you're already sick to your stomach and you don't want to hear anymore, that's fine, but I need to say something in my favor so people don't think I'm a complete piece of crap. Like, I didn't go into the SMP thinking this all along, and I didn't, like, look at everybody else as idiots because they were doing everything legit. It wasn't anything like that, and I want to explain myself a little bit. I have limited computer time, and that's, like, something probably most people have, but the thing is, there's a feature on Mac OS X, which is the Mac processing system or operating system or whatever, that it lets you limit the amount of time someone uses the computer. And so it's like, if they don't log out within the set amount of time, the computer logs it out for you and you can't use it anymore. So I didn't have very much time to do all the things that normal SMP people do, because there's a lot of busy work in making houses and shops and all that stuff. This is sort of the basis of my hacking. As in, I wouldn't have hacked if this wasn't the case, and I wouldn't have felt justified to lie. And there's never really a good reason to lie. Well, okay, there's some good reasons to lie, I guess, but this definitely wasn't one. I'll be the first to admit that I didn't need the amount of stuff that I hacked for. Like, I was just going overboard. I could have done pretty well with my computer time that I had. But the thing is, get ready for a sob story, I was just overwhelmed. I had never even heard of an SMP before this, and I was just accepted in, and I didn't think I would be, and there were so many people, and they were doing so many things like building spawn and these shops and all that crap, and the short answer is, I just wanted to impress everybody and make everybody think I was cool. That's pretty much it. And I can probably predict what some of you are thinking right now, like, oh boy, he's selling us a sob story right now, like, oh, he did it to make friends, yeah, okay. I'm sorry if you think that, but that is the case. But I've come to think of things like this, like people in my position, it's not so much that as it is like some loser trying to impress his friends by lying to them. I'm sure that's a motif in dumb teenagers like me. Not really cool or anything, but that's something. I didn't go into the SMP thinking, those idiots freaking mining and going around places legitimately, I don't have time for that. I got better things to do. It wasn't anything like that. Again, anything I tell myself doesn't really matter since other people got hurt. Again, saying it won't help my case, but I need to mention it since that's something I sometimes forget a little too easy, so when I start talking like I'm the only one who's the victim, alarm bells go off in my head. Keep in mind that I don't see any of these as good reasons to lie. Looking back on it, I just wanted to explain my half-baked thought process that I had at the time. The fact that no one from the SMP wanted to talk to me anymore after I did this gave me the impression that my opinion of lying is out of proportion. Because I've lied and been lied to on occasion, and usually we just forgive and forget. We're not sociopaths or habitual liars. It's just we stumble sometimes and the devil on our shoulder wins the argument. Those things were more telling people you had a girlfriend, telling people you had a job, telling your friend that you can't come to his house because you're sick, but really you're going to another friend's house, or stuff like that. I guess it's not the same thing as this, or it might be. I don't know. I thought I did, but I probably don't. Once again, saying this won't help my case, but I know that this isn't the same thing since I lied twice about the same thing. So this is sort of the last segment now. This is really, really defensive of me to say, so if you don't want to hear it, click out or mute your audio or something. But I read up on lying and liars and if liars can be forgiven and stuff like that. And I read that liars are cowards and they'll do anything to cover up their lies and they won't ever admit that they ever did anything wrong and that they're self-centered and that they don't think about other people and how their lies affect other people and stuff. And I want to say that I can face what I did and I can hate myself just fine for screwing over my friends. And as sort of like a side note, I want to say that this isn't going to affect my channel. Like, after I did this, I did a couple of other recordings, and I felt wrong, like I didn't have a right to have fun or be happy with YouTube anymore, but I'm going to keep moving on with my channel, and I'm going to keep making the same kind of content, and I'm going to progress forward. That's how it's going to be. Because, like, sometimes when I'm doing stuff, I remember that I did this, and I feel like I shouldn't be doing YouTube anymore or have friends anymore. And then last thing, I'm going to private the Blur SMP videos and redirect the playlists I have on the other videos. Like in the outro, I have those previews. I'm going to redirect the Blur SMP links to another SMP if I get into one, because I'm going to try to do that. Otherwise, they're going to be dead links. If you don't think this makes sense, tell me in the comments and I'll do what's reasonable. This setup is up for change if anyone thinks it's stupid, which is why I'm privating the videos instead of deleting them. The last thing I want to do is cover things up, but those videos aren't a part of my channel anymore, so I don't know exactly what to do, so I'm asking for some input. If you think it's pathetic that I'm just trying to join another SMP right after this one, like, oh boy, he's ruined one SMP, he's just moving on to the next one, that's not what this is. Like I said, I need to move on and make new friends. I don't know if that doesn't make sense, but this is actually, I lost a lot of friends, and this is actually a good shock. So if I get kicked from another SMP, if I get into one, it's not going to be for lying. That's it.